full stack developer where I work on backend and front-end both. In terms of like my last project, I have worked on online subscription gym website where like I was handling a customer module, front-end and backend both. In
Okay.
this project, basically the subscription basis module where the customer subscribe the plan and according to plan their benefit will be getting like workout exercise video and there will
Okay.
be trainer also, yeah, and one-to-one session.
So which stack you have used in your current project?
In this project, front-end React, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap,
Okay.
and backend Node and MySQL.
Okay. And do you have any experience in MongoDB?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Cool. So what is your if you're rating in JavaScript 10 of 10, so what is your rating?
Rating like 6.5 out of 10
Okay.
JavaScript.
Out of 10, 6.5. And what
Yeah.
about MySQL?
On MySQL, 6 out of 10.
6. And MongoDB?
In MongoDB, it's like 5.5, you can say.
And Node.js?
6.
And React?
6.5.
Okay, so 6.5. So highest rating React and also the JavaScript. Okay, let's start with the JavaScript.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm talking about the closure, you know the concept of the closure.
Yeah, I know about the closure.
So okay, so what is the disadvantage of the closure?
This advantage of closure is like code complexity or like
No, no,
managing or like
no,
you cannot access the variable outside the closure. This is
no.
kind of disadvantage and advantage both.
Can you explain scope of the closure? Matlab, can you explain what is the closure? I want to
Yeah.
know.
Okay. So
Yeah.
closure is like when a function bundles together with a lexical scope, it is
Yeah.
known as a closure.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what is the lexical scope in closure? Matlab, how you
So
identify that is?
lexical scope, like suppose you have a parent a function inside the parent function, you are uh, like initialize variable a, and inside the parent function you have like creating a child function, and inside child function you want to access a variable a that is like outside of the child function. So here like a is a lexically scope, you can say. Yeah.
Okay. So for example,
Hmm.
uh, there is a one function, outer function, and then you write some variable. Okay. Then child function, and in child function, you're using the one variable which is outside the inner function. Are you getting the structure? Means outside the child function, there's a two or three variable, but you're using the one variable inside the child function. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
it means that is a closure part.
Right.
And when you occur the function inside function occur anywhere, so means you can using that variable value.
Hmm. Hmm.
It is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of disadvantage, can you think what is the disadvantage?
Uh, disadvantage is like
Oh, okay. Okay, leave it. So I'm explaining what is the disadvantage.
yeah.
Disadvantage like a
Yes.
if
Hmm.
there is a three variable,
Hmm.
but inside the inner function you can using the one variable.
Hmm.
Okay. And when you occur the function, you get the only one variable. But in lexical scope, there is a three value exist. So
Hmm.
means ki you taking the garbage collection also. When you
Yeah.
using the lexical scope, so it means you in your memory there is a three variable, but you using the single variable. So means you creating the garbage collection, na? So that is a very big
Yeah.
disadvantage.
That is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Got it.
so closer. So you heard about the streaming?
Streaming. Yeah. In Node.js.
Yeah. So what is the duplex streaming?
Duplex streaming is like that can be writable and readable both, I guess.
Okay. So if you ring the streaming, there is a event emitter. So what is the role of the event emitter?
Okay, so event emitter is like basically a kind of notification when some like event occurs, so that it's like going to fire or something. There is like syntax is like event emit and on. Yeah.
No, on is different thing and emit is different thing. What is
Mhm.
the difference between on and emit? I want to know because event do different thing and on do different thing.
Yeah. So on is like you are like basically firing the event.
No, you're wrong. Event emit will be fire the event. On will be listen the event.
Yeah, yeah. On will be listened.
Okay. Okay. So you heard about the prototype.
Prototype. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the prototype?
In JavaScript, prototype like there is a default also prototype like length, max, min, or you can create your own prototype in JavaScript. That is like basically you can call whenever you need. Like you can reuse that code. Yeah, their syntax like object dot underscore proto and yeah something.
So what is the use of prototype?
Prototype is like basically it's kind of like reusing the code. Basically, you can say that.
Okay,
Like
you
you
heard
can
about the
define a like property or method, and you can call anywhere when you have
you
required.
heard about the currying. What is the currying?
Yeah, currying.
Yeah.
So currying is you can say kind of basically a closure function like a nested function, and you are like calling the function after parentheses and again parentheses, and you are passing the like variable.
So why we using the currying? Matlab, you can do normally. So why we
Uh,
using there is a one
currying
function?
is currying is like you can say it's a write less code, or suppose there is example like function A and that taking a like length, and there is inside you are returning a function B that is taking a breadth, and inside the function B you are returning a function C with that taking the width. So if you will I like try to logic like length multiply breadth width, so you can use by currying. Suppose function A, then you can pass length, and after the another parenthesis you can pass breadth, and another parenthesis you can pass length.
Okay.
Yeah.
So uh, we have the multiple type of loop in JavaScript like a for each, map, for loop. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
what is the difference between map and for each?
Okay, so the main difference is like map is asynchronous and for each is the synchronous.
No, totally wrong.
One
How can
second.
you? How we
Map
can?
is like asynchronous and for each synchronous. How can
No.
totally?
For example, there is a one variable. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, one array. You can iterate the all the array. Then after that, you can call the function. So that function not waiting for okay, all the data will be executed. Then that function will be called.
Yeah,
Same with
the
the
main difference
same
you
with
can
the
say.
map.
Yeah, say the
How
map function is for using for like updating the array. Suppose you have a like array and you want to multiply by 2 in each element. So in this case, you can use map
you
method.
telling me the specific condition? I'm generally asking. You know, never always you using the array and you updating the array. You can do lot of things, na. Sometimes you inserting the data. So I am asking all the property. What is the difference between in terms of properties map and for each? There is some difference, na. You heard about the for of and for in.
Sorry.
There is in for loop in ES6. There is a two type of for loop. One is a
Mm-hmm.
for of and other is a for in. What is the difference between for of and for in?
Don't know.
You don't know. Okay, let's switch JavaScript to MySQL and MongoDB. So
Mm-hmm.
what is your mm, you're strong in MongoDB and MySQL
Uh, like SQL.
as well.
Yeah.
So what is the basic difference between the relation database and non-relation database?
So in relation database, like you can create relation with one table to another table. There
Hmm.
like is you can create a relation between
Hmm.
another table like one to one, many to many,
Hmm.
and yeah, normal table you cannot create a like relation. It's like the normal table that is storing only the data.
Sorry, non-SQL database, you can't create the relation.
Sorry?
If you're talking about the non-relation database, so you can't create the relation in non-relation database.
No, you can create, but like if it's like differentiate do.
No, that is not true. If you can, you can. So
Hmm.
if I can, so what is the difference? If you're using the relation database, you create one table. No need to require other table. Same in non-SQL database. If you're creating the one collection, so if you don't want to create the other collection, you can manage in one collection. But you can manage everything in both type of database. Na, you can create relation in relation database. You can create a
Okay, okay,
relation in
okay.
SQL
You
as
are
well.
asking about like SQL and no SQL.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm telling
so
you, na,
yeah, okay, got it. So in
I'm telling you, na,
SQL,
relation and non-relation is SQL and
okay,
non-SQL.
okay, got it. So it's in SQL like it's like a structure-based database, and NoSQL is like a structure-less database. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If you
Also, yeah, in SQL like you have defined to like a structure or something, but in NoSQL, suppose you can like insert a like field name like ID name before, and after that you can add another field name also in NoSQL.
Okay.
Yeah,
In if you're talking about the relation database, you create the SP and function. SP means store processor. You create.
sorry.
You have knowledge about the store processor and function also.
No, not knowledge about the processor.
Okay. So what is the basic difference between the having clause and where clause?
Having clause and where clause. Okay. So where clause is like use normal condition to find, and having clause is use with aggregate like group by.
Okay.
Yeah.
For example, in relation
Hmm.
database, I have a table which have multiple field, multiple
Hmm.
column, like a first name, last name, email ID, and gender. There is a
Hmm.
thousand of record,
Hmm.
and some record in 1500 record have the field which have maintained the field as a gender as a female. Okay, and some data have the male data. So in our table there is a multiple data which contain the female and some contain the
Mail.
male. So can you tell me the query, update query? I want to update the data male to female and female to male. So how I write the update query?
Okay. So you want like male to female and female to
Female.
male.
I want to switch male to female and female to male.
Yeah, there is like like update table. Then there is a like uh, SQL in case, like
Okay.
yeah, where you like where a male equal to, and yeah, there is a case. But yeah, I don't know right the like exact query. But there is using a case like having
Okay.
a gender male, then another case is like having a female or something.
Okay. You heard about the indexing. Indexing, you create indexing in your project?
Yes.
Yes. So which type of indexing you create? Cluster or non-cluster?
It's like non-cluster.
Non-cluster. So what is the difference between cluster and non-cluster indexing?
So it's like cluster. It's like when you it's already like on a primary key. And non-cluster is like you can create your custom indexing.
So what is custom? Okay. So why we using the indexing?
Indexing is just for making a searching faster, you can say.
So what is the disadvantage of the indexing?
Like if you have create multiple indexing. So like it's always advised to create only a limit indexing, not above indexing. They take some
That
like
is that is the
spaces.
no, that is the not that is the limitation. You can create how many indexing. I'm asking out disadvantage. I'm not asking out if you have the one jug, okay, and
Hmm.
the jug size is a 1 liter, so you can't put the more than 1 liter. So that is a limitation. I'm
Hmm.
asking about the disadvantage. You if if I write the multiple indexing, so there is some disadvantage also, na?
I mean, uh, don't tell you.
No idea. Okay, so I'm telling you, if you create the multiple indexing, so what is the
Hmm.
disadvantage? Disadvantage is your current operation, your input output inside update operation will be performed the slowly.
Oh yeah.
Okay, perform slow. When you insert bulk operation, na, so first you need to drop indexing, then you can update the database. So that is a disadvantage.
Okay.
You heard about the partitioning?
Yeah, I heard about partition, like horizontal partition.
Okay, okay. Let's switch on the MongoDB. Okay,
Hmm.
so MongoDB. So what is the, for example, I have the collection, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and there is a one row, there is a email ID is a shivam@123. Okay,
Okay.
when I write the query,
Hmm.
find model name, find, and then condition email ID is equal to
Shivam.
at the rate.
Hmm.
Then I write again query, find one, and same condition I apply. So I
Hmm.
find the with the help of two query, I find the data. So what is
Hmm.
the difference between both data? If you are using the find and if I using the find one, but data size is only one in database.
Yeah, so like find one will always try to find first, and find will try to all the matches the record. So find one here
So
is the
I
faster. Yeah.
that is a cool, but I'm talking about if there is the one data. So if I'm
Hmm.
getting the data, so what is the difference between both type of data in output? Because there is
In
only one record.
Yeah, so
Because
like in output, if you try to getting property of that data, so in terms of find, you have to write the like data, then index like
no,
zero.
I am not talking about the syntax. See, if I'm using the find, I
Hmm.
have the only one data in that database specific that map to that email ID. But
Hmm.
I sometime I'm using the find and sometime I'm using the find one. And database have only one data mapped
Hmm.
to that email ID. So there is some difference now when we getting the data, you console that data, find one and find. So there is some difference now. There is some difference or not?
Like I said, like find is always try to find all the data, and find one is
Let
try to.
I am talking about
Hmm.
I am talking about
Hmm.
I am talking about the output difference. Output when output will be query give some output na. So what is the difference between in
So
output?
like find will be like in a array uh, object, and find one will be only object return.
Hmm?
Yeah, find will be return data in array, where
Uh,
find one will be written in only object.
okay. So what is the aggregation? So
Okay, so in MongoDB, like aggregation pipeline, where you try to write maximum, minimum something query, or like you try to populate the data from another collection.
what is the populate in MongoDB?
Yeah, so populate is basically like try to uh, find the condition of one collection to another collection. Suppose you have
Hmm.
a user table, and you another table is like user salary table, where you define the like ID, salary, and then user ID. S-
Hmm.
Yeah, so that is that find kind of join, you can say.
Okay. when you apply the lookup, lookups
Hmm.
aggregation, there is a one term is bind and one unbind. What's the difference between bind and unbind?
Bind and unbind. Yeah, so unbind is like if you unwind is like if you have got the multiple results, so it will be try to in a separate separate kind of object or record. When you try with the bind, so it will be only getting all the array in a one record.
So I'm using, for example, in Node.js.
Hmm.
So there is a five promises going on together. Okay, there is a one promise,
Hmm.
second promise, third promise. So all promise I want to resolve together. So how I will resolve all the promise together?
All it together.
Yes,
Okay,
resolve.
yeah, so you can use promise dot all method.
Or if I want to check ki how many promise will be resolved and how many promise will be reject. So how I will check?
So you in this scenario you can use promise dot all settle method.
And what is the difference between race and any?
Okay, so promise dot arrays will try to find which promise has first like resolved or rejected, and
Oh,
promise dot any will be try to find same, but when got the error, so it will be like a kind of aggregate error. It will show the error. It will not got the any result.
okay.
Yeah.
You know about the thread pooling in Node.js? Thread pooling?
Sorry, thread pool.
Thread. Yeah, thread pool. Ever
Yeah,
used in your application?
yeah, thread pool. Yeah, by default in Node.js, there is a like four thread pool, but you
Okay.
can like yeah increase the thread pool. It's ideally choice for like how many CPU in your system. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So with the help of thread pool, I can increase my performance or not?
yeah. You can increase your performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For example,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I write the code. Okay. So I write the static in I top in my file. So what is the different? What is the why I can write the static? What is the behavior change if I write the static in I in my top of the my file?
Aesthetic I.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, there is a calling multiple variable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like a but there is a when but after that I change my file and I write the static at my top of the my file.
Okay.
So what is the
Aesthetic.
behavior in my file?
Aesthetic.
Yeah.
Uh, mm,
What about the static keyword?
uh, I heard about, but right now I don't remember. Aesthetic.
Okay. Okay. So what is the difference between array.find and array.filter?
Okay, so array dot find in array dot filter. Yeah, so like array dot find array dot filter comes in ES6, and the main difference you can say again like array dot filter is asynchronous and array dot find is synchronous.
No man. Okay. So you manage the exception handling, not try catch.
Hmm.
There is a one money blog is finally. You heard about the finally?
Yeah, finally.
So if my data is going in try block,
Hmm.
okay, sometime go in try block, everything is working fine, then try block, data will
Hmm.
go. And if I get some error, so data will go in catch block.
Hmm.
And in finally, when data will go in finally block,
Hmm.
when which situation?
Hmm. So yeah, like if it's go to try or catch, uh, always finally like always go to finally after try or catch. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you telling about your project, there is a subscription based model. Okay, so
Hmm.
you integrate any payment gateway there.
Yeah, I have handled.
Which payment gateway?
Uh, I have used Stripe payment.
Stripe. Okay, that is a good. So, for example, you handling a Stripe payment gateway. So, payment gateway means combination the front end and back end integration. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
First, you back end create the one order ID, which will provide to front end. Then front end provide that order ID in payment gateway. Then payment gateway will be open the page. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
payment you then user can do the payment, net banking, credit card, anything. Then after
Mm-hmm.
that, the payment gateway returns some data to front end, and front end that data provide to back end. Then you
Backend,
will
right.
update your data. You will update your database key payment is success or failure. That is the
Right.
flow.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Right.
For example, backend create a one order ID,
Mm-hmm.
provide to front end hit to payment gateway page will be open, then user
Mm-hmm.
will be payment is successfully completed
Mm-hmm.
from the payment gateway side. Payment
Mm-hmm.
gateway will provide some data to front end,
Mm-hmm.
but some reason front end get the some hand lost the net and maybe some issue. They can't
Mm-hmm.
provide that data to back end.
Mm-hmm.
But in real scenario, user payment will be detect and payment get successfully. But our backend don't know about what is the current state of that payment. So how
Mm-hmm.
we will handle that situation? How will we will update our database?
So you can like check your like Stripe admin panel with that order
No,
ID.
no, manually.
Uh,
I am not. That is
other,
not.
yeah. Otherwise, you can try to write webhooks. Once the like
Okay.
payment code,
Yeah.
it will,
And
yeah.
there is okay, and you can manage the web. That is a good process. And what about the there is the one status API means you can there is the one API na that order ID you can pass that
Okay,
API.
okay. No, that can, yeah, that can you pass through order ID and you can get the status. Yeah, that is also a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Shivam, that is it done from my side. If do you have any question, you can ask me.
Uh, I'm just asking, give me a feedback so I can work on my weakness part.
That is HR will give you update. But
Okay.
technical question, if you have, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can leave. Okay, that is it done from my side.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
your time.
Okay.
Okay.